Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com, and all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Hey guys, welcome in and happy Monday to you. It is time to talk a little college hoops here, the college basketball tip-off show powered by WagerTalk.com. It's a light card here today. In fact, I believe one game already underway by the time you're watching this. But we do have some intriguing matchups coming up. We'll break down a couple of games here, see if we can find some edges for you, and we'll do it on this Monday with three of the best we got here and when it comes to college basketball at WagerTalk.com, including Drew Martin in the house, also Adam Trigger and Tony Mejia here to break some college hoops down. And Drew, you continuing to rack in the profits here, my man. Congratulations. Number one, I believe, over the last 3 and 7 days here. So continuing to cash those tickets. Congrats, man. $9 Monday at Wager Talk. What do you got going on tonight?
Yeah, feeling good right now. You know how it goes in this business, Joe. When you're seeing it well, you're seeing it well, and don't change anything you're doing. So that's what I'm trying to do, guys. And yeah, each and every Monday, $9 Monday right here on the College Basketball Show. And actually, Joe, I like these three games a lot. Even though it's a short card, sometimes these can be the best to bet here. I bet two of them even before knowing what games we were talking about on the overnight. So give those out now. And the third one, you know, a little bit degenerate style. If I'm going to give it out on the show, like to bet it as well. So got 3 bets pending on tonight's card. We're talking about all of them, Joe. So always good to be on with you, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
Love it. $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com, which means, of course, best bets, $9. Like how that works. All right, Trig, what's going on, my man? Are you locked and loaded here on this $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com?
Yeah, I am. I actually agree with Drew. This is a short card, but there are some really good betting opportunities in college basketball tonight. I have a 4% play in college hoop. I'm going to give that out on the show. So if you've already bought it, you know, shoot me a message. I can give you my 4%er in the NFL or just, you know, get you another one. But I am going to give my 4% college hoop play out in the show. And then I have a 4% play in the NFL tonight. Rams Cardinals. Both are up for $9. So yeah, I have a strong opinion in one of the other games that we're going to talk about. So yeah, I like this card, and hopefully we can find some winners.
Oh, well, that's what we're here for, man. And Tony Mejia, congratulations, coming off a monster Sunday, I believe. Profits galore on your card, my friend. So what do you got locked and loaded for us today?
We've got $9 packages in NFL, college hoops, and NBA. And look, this is how I am, just in a nutshell. We got the greatest backdoor cover on the over in 49ers and Bengals. I mean, God bless. And I really am appreciative. We spoke it into existence. A 9-point. First of all, the comeback, 20-6 in the fourth, and then you get the over on a 9-point overtime. But I'm still pissed that a missed extra point cost me an 11-0 day because they missed an extra point in Dallas, Washington. So that sucks. But that's how I am. You know, the wins are great. The losses always hang with you. So but we're doing really well. Last 30 days have been great. So just plan on keeping that going when looking forward to the holidays, which are coming up quickly.
Yeah, they are. And we got a whole lot going on this week. Bowl season, guys. We got a little Saturday NFL. We got college hoops. We got everything. So let's dive in here to game number 1 today that we're going to talk about. And we're going to take a look at Rhode Island opening up as a 7-point favorite against Wisconsin-Milwaukee here. And I believe the Rams total 131 as an open. 8 o'clock here tonight. So talk to me here, Drew. Is this one of the games you got circled on your card here tonight?
Yeah, it absolutely is, Joe. This is what I'm excited to watch here. You know, talking about the Rhode Island side of things, this in my opinion, isn't one of the more talented teams that David Cox has had the last couple years. You know, we know offensively they've been really good in the past. This year, they're more of a defensive-oriented team. Actually, their two-point defense is top 5 in the country in terms of field goal percentage against. Overall defense, top 20 in the country. But speaking to the offense, I'm not sure they got it all going this year. They got the 2 twins transferring in from Maryland, and they're really good shot blockers. Down low, both of them, 6'10" or taller. And on the Milwaukee side of things, Joe, this team's just showing a record of 2-7. I actually think they're a lot better than their record shows. They got a key cover there against Colorado in a game they were able to slow down. They have struggled with up-tempo, teams that will go up-tempo against them, that being the Florida Gators and the Bowling Green team this year. Both of those two teams, even though being in the MAC and being in the SEC, a lot different talent-wise, if you're going up-tempo against Milwaukee, you can have success. That's the matchup handicap that I like in here. The only thing is Rhode Island doesn't really go up-tempo, so I don't think they're going to have all that much success. And speaking to the offense not being able to put the ball in the bucket like they have the last couple years, talking about the Rhode Island side, I don't really want to lay 7.5. I think this is more of a slower tempo game. We've seen the total already move towards the under. I think this push towards the under, the money coming in on it is the right side. So we're seeing 129.5 looks to be the high watermark right now, Joe. I like it towards the under. I don't see a lot of scoring. I see good defense. So first game up, I'd look to bet this under, guys.
So Rhode Island certainly continuing to pride itself on the defensive end, the ability to dictate tempo here. Trig, what do you think, though? You trust Milwaukee to be able to overcome that and do enough scoring to win this game?
Oh, Joe, I definitely think they can win, and Milwaukee plus the points is my 4% college best bet for tonight. So, listen, I agree with Drew. There's definite sharp money on the under. I know that for a fact. Not a great totals handicapper in basketball, but I'll just say that the move toward the under is definitely sharp, and he's probably right. That's probably the way to go. So when I see something like that, obviously, with a total as low as this, anything really 130 or lower, getting 7 points in that scenario makes those points that much more valuable. Rhode Island, they only really score on the interior. Fats Russell transferred out of the program. He was kind of their do-it-all guard. So now it's really like just interior scoring for the Rams. And the one thing this Milwaukee team can probably defend is the perimeter. They seem to get torched from 3, but they've got some size. So they're tough to score on, on the inside. Rhode Island plays super slow. Another thing that sort of alludes to maybe, Drew being onto something with the under. And I think Milwaukee is going to be content to play slow with them. So we could get like when I wrote this up, I said like first 1 to 60 wins. We could get kind of a game like that. And then the last thing I'll add here, kind of a weird spot for Rhode Island. So this team traditionally plays road games in the Northeast. And if they leave the Northeast, it's usually against a high-profile team as a bigger underdog. This year, they played a multi-team event down in Florida, and they hit Florida Gulf Coast on the way back. They lost that game. Their only other 2 road games was a win at Harvard and a loss at Providence. So kind of an odd scheduling spot to see Rhode Island go out and all the way to Milwaukee and play a true road game here. So I think that makes this kind of a nice spot for Milwaukee. I had Milwaukee as a 4% play on Friday night. They got it done. They lost by 11, but they were like tied with Colorado with like 4.5 to go. I think Milwaukee is starting to take a step forward. This is my best bet for the show. It's a 4% play. Milwaukee, whatever it is, I gave it out at 6.5. I think it's 7. It went up to 7.5. It's back down to 7. I really like it at any number. I love Milwaukee in this spot.
All right, likes Milwaukee. Is Jalen Carey, Tony Mejia, is he back yet, or is he still concussioned up here for the Rams, who it's been a hell of a travel schedule for sure here. If they do get to go home, it would be nice to get one under the belt here. Do you think they can do it?
Yeah, I have no idea on Carey, Joe, just because you know how it is in specifically college basketball. College football, they wait till the last minute, but at least they tell you. College basketball, they try to keep everything under the vest. So especially with a head injury, I don't think we'll know until we see him warming up and suiting up and whatnot. I don't have much to add to this. I definitely agree that this is probably a lower scoring game. than the initial number would have indicated. Mitchell Twins protect the rim really well. And from the Milwaukee point of view, I think Baldwin's going to get double teams, and at home they'll have a better chance of finding other guys to step up and make shots. So from that standpoint, Milwaukee plus is probably the better bet. I think once we get a little more of a sampling from Elamine and Shepherd, a backcourt that's really looking to work together, having been thrown together with Russell gone and Elamine transferring in, we'll get a true indication of whether we can expect Rhode to be a factor in the A10 or a middle of the road team. Right now, they certainly look like the middle of the road team and definitely vulnerable on the road in Milwaukee. So we shall see. But I'm probably not playing this either way. But my lean would be Milwaukee plus and the under.
Yeah, it might very well be one of those paint drying situations there tonight. Rhode Island at Milwaukee. Don't know that I can say the same for this game here, though. Cleveland State heading over to IBA, the IBA Arena in Stillwater, Oklahoma, here to take on the Cowboys that opened up just under a 2-touchdown favorite here with a $132 as a total. Back-to-back losses here for Okie State here. Meanwhile, Cleveland State, I think, 6 in a row now after dropping their first 2. So what do you think here, Trig? Do you think Oklahoma State gets back into the win column?
Well, I think they get back into the win column. Whether they'll cover this number, I'm really not sure. And I'm not going to go long here because I know my colleagues probably have a bigger opinion on this game than I do. I will just say this. Oklahoma State, prior to the season, was a definite play-on team for me. And then, to no fault of their own, they had the postseason taken away. And I've sort of just kind of put them on the shelf because I really didn't know how that was going to affect this team. They have that loss to Oakland. They've just lost to Wichita State and Xavier. If Oklahoma State kind of wakes up, they'll win by double digits here. But Cleveland State is a quality team. They're a veteran team. And right now they look like they're the best team in the horizon. So this was kind of an easy cross-off for me. I don't want to go against Oklahoma State, but I certainly think Cleveland State, Cleveland State is worthy. So I'm just gonna see what the other two guys have to say.
So, Tony, we got a problem with Oklahoma State this year. They turn the ball over far too much, which is a big reason why they lost to Xavier, right? But they don't shoot the three well. But, man, they can bring some defense, don't they? And I guess that's kind of what's got them to this point here. What do you think we're going to get from them tonight here against Cleveland State?
It could end up being a grinder. I mean, Dennis Gates has really turned around Cleveland State with defense, and we've seen Oklahoma State outside of Avery Anderson really struggle offensively. And that's disappointing because, they've got pieces on that team that should be playing a lot better than they are. Maybe it is, as Trig inferred, a product of not being able to play for something yet. And we'll see. Hopefully the stupid NCAA changes its mind and lets that team play. But hey, at this point, with the 2-game losing streak going, they've got to start turning it around on the floor to even have that prospect become a possibility. Matthew Alexander Moncrief, cousin of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is a really good prospect. Somebody that should be playing a lot better than he is. They lost Cade Cunningham, but there are opportunities there for other guys to step up, and they just haven't. Cleveland State, drastic turnaround last year, winning the Horizon League after losing 21 games in Gates' first year. So it's a team that has turned things around and comes in confident. So from that standpoint, I like their chances of covering a spread here in Stillwater. This might end up being a rock fight. Who knows? But with a 13-point spread, there's backdoor cover potential. Just too much not to ride Cleveland State.
It's an interesting game. Listen, it was a loss against Xavier, Oklahoma State in that game, but it was a battle here. But they're not shooting threes well. They're turning the ball over. But I don't know. Is Cleveland State seeing a defense like they're going to see here on the road tonight? What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, Joe, to your point, Oklahoma State's playing good defense. That's the one thing they are doing under Mike Boynton. The thing is, they're only 65% from the free throw line. Now you're asking them to lay doubles as high as 13 right now. I just think price point wise, Cleveland State is the side here, guys. I mean, this Oklahoma State team already lost to Oakland, which is a Horizon League team. Oakland is a pretty solid team. Cleveland State knocked off Oakland in the Horizon League Championship last year to punch their ticket into the tournament. So this is a tournament team catching 13 points right now, and a team with a really good point guard. So whenever I'm looking to bet on a team against a good defense, I want to make sure they got a good point guard that's going to hold on to the football, to the basketball. Excuse me, football and basketball going on at the same time here. Torrey Patton, the senior, coming back from that tournament team last year. Cleveland State has the type of profile here after losing their first 2 games against 2 good teams in BYU and Ohio. The Bobcats there from the MAC, that was a tournament team last year. Sure enough, they've been a great bet so far. I'm going to keep riding the Vikings. That's the Cleveland State Vikings here. Take the plus 13 offshore, guys, 12.5 in Las Vegas. I think the underdog is barking tonight, Joe.
All right, there you go, guys. Oklahoma State taking on Cleveland State. You know where Ralph Michaels lies in that. I can tell you that right now. All right, well, let's move on to the third game going on here tonight. And this is an interesting one. Indiana State taking on North Dakota State. The Bisons open up, -2.5, I believe. 140.5 as a opening total here, Tony Mejia. And both of these teams have had injury problems all season long, but it does look like North Dakota State is certainly healthier at this point than Indiana State. What do you think we're going to see here tonight?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, Indiana State took its big, big drastic impact to its program with Tyreek Key getting injured at the beginning of the season, and they've already got a brand new head coach, so it's a new system. And I got a great look at this team because I faded them hard with Old Dominion, lost 77-36 around the holidays. So I'm like, what's going on with this team? But at the same time, it's a team that's coming together. They let go of Greg Lansing, who'd been there over a decade. Their new head coach, I didn't know anything about, as he played at coached at a Division II school that I'd never really even heard of, Lincoln Memorial. It sounds like Brooklyn high school power. And so this guy comes in. He's got a brand new system. Matthew Graves from Butler, who played there, coach there, is the top assistant there. So they look to share the basketball. They've got interchangeable wings. It looks like a promising group, but they had lost 4 straight before a game-winning layup against Miami of Ohio last time out. Watch that play. It seemed like there were multiple options, so they clearly know what they're doing. They got ball handlers and whatnot, but they're going out on the road. North Dakota State has had a huge dichotomy between home and road. Terrible on the road, undefeated at home, veteran team. So this is a situation where it's how much do you trust an Indiana State team that you don't really know much about, and could be a missed layup away from a 5-game losing streak. So I saw that the line has already moved from 2.5 to 3, 3.5. Bison are now laying, and that continues to go northward. So if you want to get it on North Dakota State, now is the time to do so. NDSU has really struggled to shoot the ball from 3-point range. I think that's been their Achilles heel, and why they haven't been more successful on the road to get their percentages for 2 of their key guys, Tyree Eady and Sam Greisel. Those guys have been there for years. Look at their numbers before this season and now these current numbers, and there's a huge discrepancy. Both are shooting poorly. Once so long as there's nothing physical, once that straightens out, I think North Dakota State is going to be a factor in the Summit League. So there might be value there in riding them at home.
Yeah, Mo Valley taking on the Summit League here, Drew. And what we do know about Indiana State is they haven't won a game on the road yet, and they actually have lost those by at least 12 points or more. So not a great road team here. What do you think we're going to get from them tonight? Do you trust them here in this spot?
This is a tough one for me, Joe. And I know, to Tony's point there, a lot of people looking towards North Dakota State. You can see it in the market moving up to 4.5 before we came on. It might even be higher right now. Look, it's just the Bison. They really haven't beat a good team this season. That's the problem that I'm seeing here with betting North Dakota State. Look, this isn't one of the games that I love here. This was, I bet the first 2 personally before I knew what games were on the show. This is the one, hey, I wanted to make a trifecta out of it. So I tried to pull one out here, Joe. But catching the 4.5 with Indiana State, that's the side I'm going, the Sycamores. Josh Schwartz, just his first year, getting a little life in the program. Missouri Valley Conference. I think they're better than any team that North Dakota State has beat this season. And of course, the Bisons just last year losing to to Oral in the Summit Championship to keep them out of the tournament. I just don't see North Dakota State having that many guys back that really make a difference. I know they were really banged up early in the season, but some of the guys that were banged up, I don't see them as difference makers, kind of playmaker wise. So I actually think the underdog here, Indiana State, I think the market's given us a little bit of a cushion here, catching the 4.5. I see this one as a tight one, Joe.
Trig, we shouldn't be surprised here. I mean, North Dakota State, in their last game, what was it? Cal State, Northridge? They played, I think that was on Friday. And they got steamed right the hell up. They were at 10. I think it was 13.5 by the time it went off. So I guess it shouldn't be any surprise we're seeing them get money here today as well. But do you agree with the move?
Okay, so yeah, I agree with the move, but I will say this. This just feels like North Dakota State feels like the most obvious handicap ever. Like Indiana State's not good, okay? And I actually thought they'd be worse. They're a little bit scrappy. I mean, Tony alluded to it. Tyreek Key, they find out right before the season-ending shoulder injury. Jake LaRavia, probably their best player from last year at Wake Forest now. It's a coach coming up from the Division II level, with a pretty bear-covered, pretty big rebuild for Indiana State. But, they have wins over Green Bay. The Old Dominion game that Tony alluded to was like probably one of the biggest outlier results of the season with that score. And then they beat Miami of Ohio. North Dakota State, like on paper, it looks just almost too obvious to take North Dakota State here. They have everyone back. They're 5-0 at home. It's just, I know that North Dakota State got some sharp play at 2.5. Now it's up to 4.5 most places. So just from a handicapping perspective, I do think North Dakota State is the right side, but with the fact that I don't think there's a soul on Indiana State until I heard Drew say he liked Indiana State, and the move to 4.5, like I wouldn't lay 4.5 to play North Dakota State. So I think right here, if you can talk yourself into taking the points, there's probably value there. But I think North Dakota State's going to win, so it's just going to be a pass for me.
All right, it's going to be a pass there for Drew, but he does lean North Dakota State as they continue to get some love in the marketplace. So now, with such a short card, it is time to see which direction these guys go. Which game do they like a little bit more than the others? So, Drew, lead us off here, my man. Best bet time. Where are you going to lean on this card tonight?
Joe, unfortunately, I'm going up against your Cowboys of Oklahoma State. The sports program's come a long way, knocking on the door of the playoffs. Basketball team coming into the season looked really good. But to Trig's point earlier, not really sure what they got going forward. 65% from the free throw line, now having to lay as high as 13, guys. You can get 13 offshore market. I like Cleveland State, the Vikings, Joe. This is a tournament team from last season. They got a good senior point guard in Torrey Patton, and I think he holds on to the basketball enough. They do enough to stay within the 13 points. Hey, maybe even sprinkle a little bit there on the money line. Cleveland State plus the 13, my best bet, Joe.
All right, there you go. Going against the Cowboys here. Trig, where are you going here on this short card?
Yeah, so I have a 4% play in college hoop tonight, and I already gave it out in the show, so I'll give it out again here. It's Milwaukee. Plus 6.5. I think you can get 7 or even 7.5 some places now. I'm not going to rehash completely what I said earlier, but I'll add to it. One thing I forgot to mention is Milwaukee is a transfer from UTEP, Jordan Lathan, who had been almost invisible this season until last Friday, the last game Milwaukee played against Colorado. Season high 14 points. And I feel like if he can score and start to sort of be an integral part of this offense, with everyone knows that Patrick Baldwin Jr. is like a lottery pick, or he's up there, one of the top recruits of the 2021 class. And then you got DeAndre Golston, who can score. He's probably the best returning player for Milwaukee from last season. I think if they can, get consistent efforts from these three, that this team can be a lot better than what they've shown so far this season with a 2-7 start. And honestly, Rhode Island's just a team I would fade right now. I think they're a bottom half of the table team in the Atlantic 10 this year. They don't score on the perimeter, and there's just too many issues on this Rhode Island side for me to think that they're worthy of laying 7 points in a true road game right now. So Milwaukee +7. This team's due to sort of have like a, I thought it was going to come Friday, and it really did for 35 minutes. That game was tied in Boulder, and Colorado sort of pulled away at the end. They won by 11, but Milwaukee covered the 13.5. I think Milwaukee's due to finish the job. I'm going to call for an outright Milwaukee win here. But the way I would play it, take the 6.5, take the 7. You want to sprinkle a little bit on the money line, that's fine, but the value here is with the points. This will be a good game. Milwaukee will cover the number.
All right, there you go. Love it. All right, talk to us here, Tony Mejia. Which one of these games did you circle for us tonight?
All right. Well, the more things change, the more things stay the same usually in college basketball. But we need look only to Chicago State suddenly not being a blind fade, giving 30 points like they usually do. Now they're pick'ems against teams from the MAC, and they're hanging in there against Northern Illinois. It just goes to show you that the transfer portal has kind of changed things drastically, very quickly.
They had 3 wins already this year, Mejia. What the hell is that?
They're no pushover, man. If you're betting the blind fade on Chicago State, you either haven't been paying attention or you're going out of style. But look, same rationale. Princeton and Maryland, Baltimore County. You look at the number there, 152. That's blind under clearly, because Maryland, Baltimore County over the past few years has been one of the slowest paced teams in college basketball. They had Ryan Odom there. Shante Rogers' kid was the point guard, shorter than his dad, I think, like 5'2", and they would just milk the shot clock and play defense, and they'd win games 40-35. And it was really ugly to watch, but very effective. And then obviously Princeton, the lineage there, the Pete Carrill-led team, and the offense that is used throughout the country by certain teams, at least principle-wise, but very slow and methodical. Well, that has drastically changed now too, to the point where Princeton just scored 84 points against Lafayette last time out. They've got regularly score in the 80s. Maryland, Baltimore County just gave up 100 to Georgetown, and they're playing a lot faster with Jim Ferry there. Ferry's been in multiple spots throughout the Northeast, so it's different styles now for both programs. And so suddenly a number of 152 doesn't seem high enough. So give me the over. Hopefully we don't have shooting droughts, and we'll get there. High scoring game between Princeton and Maryland, Baltimore County. Never thought I'd see the day to say that.
All right, you know what? And here we go again, you and I, Tony Mejia. Only I'm going to pick a side in this debacle game, and I'm going to go with Maryland, Baltimore County. And it's pretty simple to me, because you have one team that plays absolutely no defense, and they can't get to the free throw line, that being Princeton. They don't get turnovers, and we got a team in Maryland, Baltimore County that doesn't turn the ball over. So this is going to be interesting. If I'm going to get 6 points, 7 points here in the marketplace, I'll take that all day long for a team that can't figure out how to get to the charity stripe here. So give me Baltimore, give me Maryland, Baltimore County plus the points in this one. And our friends from the Gold Sheet, they've got a play of the day as well, and they are looking. Oh, this could be degenerate special written all over it here. What time's this get? 10 o'clock. They're going Portland and Cal Poly going, I believe they like Portland here, laying the points, which last I checked was maybe 5 or 6 points, somewhere in that ballpark. 5, I think, somewhere there. And the full write-up, guys, can absolutely be read in its entirety. And I would suggest you guys check out the Gold Sheet, because it's a great handicapping tool. The write-ups are phenomenal, and this is the kind of information you want to have at your disposal when breaking down games. So check it out on WagerTalk's Twitter page. The full write-up will be there. They are backing Portland. All right, and to recap our best bets here, Drew Martin, despite Oklahoma State's deficient, he's still going Cleveland State. Give him the 13 points here, I know. Milwaukee +7, Wisconsin for Trig. Princeton over 152 with Maryland, Baltimore County. And I'm going to take the points in that game as well against Princeton. And our friends at the Gold Sheet, they like Portland, and they don't mind laying the 5 points, guys. And, of course, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. And do not forget, guys, it is $9 Monday. You heard Drew on fire, red hot here over the last week, guys. He is feeling it. Head over there right now. Grab his best bets tonight, $9. Triz already locked and loaded. He told you here tonight. He already gave you a 4% best bet here on the show. Make sure you visit him as well as Tony Mejia coming off a monster weekend, guys. Great opportunity right now to hop on for just $9 over at WagerTalk.com. All right, enjoy the night here, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow talking more college hoops. A loaded card tomorrow in college basketball. We'll have you covered. Make sure you come back and join us again. And until then, guys, on behalf of Drew Martin, Adam Trigg, and Tony Mejia, best of luck with the plays tonight, guys. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Founded in 1957, the Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter. Each week, the Gold Sheet team delivers analysis on NFL and college football games, along with NBA and college basketball matchups. The Gold Sheet maintains in-depth point spread and results logs, giving sports bettors and enthusiasts the insights needed to maximize their wagers. For over 60 years, Gold Sheet readers have received key releases based on power rankings on all teams, and for the first time ever, you can now get these selections exclusively at goldsheet.com, wagertalk.com, and sportsmemo.com.